This is the Chamber Chat Podcast, the show dedicated to chamber professionals to spark ideas and to get actionable tips and strategies to better serve your members and community.
Hello, Chamber Champions. Welcome to Chamber Chat Podcast. It's my goal here on the podcast to introduce you to people and ideas to better help you serve your chamber members and your community. Our title sponsor is Community Matters, Inc. With nearly 20 years in the chamber industry and over 100 media awards presented to their chamber partners, Community Matters provides the R&R that every chamber needs, revenue and recognition. When it comes to publishing a chamber map, directory, or community guide, Community Matters has the trusted experience to help your chamber accomplish your goals. With different advertising sales models and publication styles, Community Matters will help you create a non-dues revenue machine. Let's hear from Becky Womble, President and CEO of the Bastrop Chamber, to hear about her experience using Community Matters.
I've been using Community Matters for probably 6 or 7 years now. And in a previous life, I sold commercial printing. So I can highly recommend Community Matters because it's a complete turnkey job for any busy chamber exec. Basically, you give them a membership list, and from there, they contact your members, and it's no high pressure sales or anything. And it really is a complete turnkey job from start to finish. And it's a wonderful, beautiful printed product whenever you're finished. And I'm very sold on Community Matters. And with a printing background, big endorsement for me.
To learn how Community Matters can support your chamber with your next publication, please visit communitymattersinc.com/podcast to request your free media kit and request a proposal to find out what kind of non-dues revenue you can generate. Our guest for this episode is Donna Novitsky. Donna is the co-founder of Yiftee. Donna has combined her interest in local community building and her interest in high tech to co-found Yiftee to bring profitable business to local shops and restaurants. Yiftee has grown to more than 500 communities now, 15,500 merchants, and helped to keep $45 million local to help small businesses just the last 3 years. Prior to Yiftee, Donna has led several startup companies and worked with top-tier venture capital firm. She teaches entrepreneurship at Stanford University and frequently speaks on topics related to entrepreneurship and women in business. Donna holds a BS in Industrial Engineering with distinction from Stanford University and a Harvard MBA. And Donna, I'm excited to have you with us today on Chamber Chat Podcast. I'd love for you to take a moment to say hello to all the Chamber champions that are out there listening and to share something interesting about yourself so we can all get to know you a little better.
Thanks, Brandon, and hello, Chamber champions. It is such a pleasure to be here. I've really enjoyed meeting many of you at the ACCE show and on Zoom over the last few years. But let's see, something interesting about me. Well, I guess depending on how you count them, as Brandon mentioned, I've been in tech. So Yiftee is my 3rd or my 19th startup. So,
depending on how you count, right?
Yeah. So I guess you could say I'm an entrepreneur at heart. My dad taught me that word when I was 12, and it kind of stuck. So I love starting new things and helping others do so too. So I end up doing a lot of coaching and mentoring of young people, which is super fun because they're always challenging me to learn new things.
Right. No, that is interesting. I like getting these little facts about people, and I'm sure we could dig in deeper on how you count those businesses that you've been a part of and starting. Well, before we dive into our topic for today, why don't you take a few minutes and just tell us a little bit about Yiftee, what Yiftee is, kind of the purpose, the vision with it, and then we can dive in a little bit deeper on how it all works.
Okay, great. So we launched Yiftee over 10 years ago, and for the first 5 or 6 years, the business went through the typical startup roller coaster. In 2018, we did the first, what we now call community cards, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But then the pandemic hit in 2020, and many chambers were worried about losing all their small businesses, and they were looking for ways to help their members. And we happen to have a solution for that. So com cards, as we call them, took off. And as Brandon mentioned, we're in more than 500 communities and 15,000 local businesses. So I guess you could say we got here with hard work, a lot of stubbornness, and even more luck, because who would have predicted a pandemic? We're a small team. We are 100% remote. Our headquarters in the Bay Area, and we have teammates in California, Michigan, Ohio, South Carolina, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So we're all over the place, just like you guys.
Awesome. Now that definitely gives a good introduction to what Yiftee is, and I'm excited to get in a little deeper on it. As we've settled on our topic for this discussion today, we're going to talk about keeping local dollars local. And as I mentioned in your bio, you guys have helped keep over $45 million local for small businesses and communities across the country. So I'm excited to dive in deeper on this, learn how the program works, and help tell chambers how they can help keep dollars local in their community as soon as I get back from this quick break.
Are you looking for a year-round, affordable, and timely shop local campaign for your chamber or CVB? Look no further. Build a custom Eat, Shop, Play mobile app with App My Community by visiting appmycommunity.com/chamberchat. App My Community mobile apps are not just simple membership directory listings. They provide many more capabilities to engage with your community. Provide your residents with a robust events calendar. Partner with a local fair, festival, or farmers market to provide a schedule, map, and other resources to promote the event. Run a Small Business Saturday campaign any time of the year using built-in scavenger hunts. Allow your membership to communicate directly to their customers via push notifications. Your App My Community mobile app will be a unique member benefit, allow you to generate non-dues revenue with sponsorship opportunities, and best of all, provide a valuable resource to your community. Please visit appmycommunity.com/chamberchat now to receive 10% off your first year of an App My Community mobile app. Exciting news! Introducing Piply by Chamber Nation, the innovative solution to manage and promote your community for unstoppable growth. Joining the Chamber of Commerce means one thing: commerce. Businesses want to thrive, and Piply is here to make that happen. With Piply, your members can experience remarkable benefits even if they can't attend events. It's a game changer for retention. Say goodbye to ordinary directories and embrace a transformative commerce management system. Unlock the true power of commerce management. Picture a centralized Piply dashboard combining top mobile technologies for subscriptions, event registration, community communications, and more. It's incredible. Don't miss out. Visit piply.com to learn more. That's PIPPILY.com. Schedule your demo at richardscalendar.com. It's affordable and delivers more. Piply by Chamber Nation. Your community's future starts now.
What if you could keep holiday shopping local this year? Launch a community card with Yiftee and you can. Hi, I'm Raquel from Yiftee. Yiftee works with over 500 chambers, main streets, cities, and downtown associations, providing custom-branded electronic gift cards that can only be redeemed at your local businesses. This program is free for you and your participating businesses. And if you sign up now, you'll watch your local businesses thrive this holiday season. Email sales@yiftee.com to learn more. That's sales@yiftee.com.
All right, Donna, we're back. So tell us with Yiftee, how does it work? You mentioned these com cards. So what is a com card, and how does it work, and how does it lead to keeping dollars local?
Okay. A com card or community card, it's a digital gift card, and it is branded for a city, town, or neighborhood, and can be redeemed exclusively at the local shops and restaurants in that area. So shout out to Spartanburg, South Carolina Chamber, who was our very first chamber customer back in 2018, followed by Lake Zurich, Illinois, Niles, Illinois, and DeWitt, Iowa. If you're out there, thank you guys. Chambers often make the program a member benefit because they control specifically which merchants can participate in it. It's kind of like next generation chamber checks, but we do all the sales, customer service, technology, and financial management. And our chamber partner in each community promotes the program and recruits the merchants. So it's a real partnership with the chambers.
So what does the recruitment look like as the chamber goes out to recruit businesses to participate in it? Is there marketing material that's provided? Is there scripts? Is there coaching that goes along with it? What does that look like?
All that stuff. So in terms of getting the program up and running, there's no cost, first of all, for the program. The chambers don't have to pay anything, and the merchants don't have to pay anything to participate. And it's backed by MasterCard. So any merchant that takes MasterCard can participate in the program, and there's no special equipment or integration with their POS that they need. So all they have to do is sign the agreement, and then we'll have their portal set up within 24 hours. And we start sending lots of materials. There's a 4-week launch program with lots of materials. So we'll give you the copy to recruit to send an email message out to your members to invite them to the program. And then when you're ready, we send what we call an activation card to the merchants, which is a 10-cent prepaid MasterCard. They process that, they get the dime, and that registers their POS with us. And that's how we limit the cards to be used exclusively at your members' businesses. Okay. So we're providing a lot of information along the way. To be honest, the long pole in the tent in terms of getting the program running is recruiting the merchants, because they are just super busy and you got to get their attention. So
right.
Yeah.
So in your experience over the years of launching these community card programs, is there an ideal time of year, or does it depend on the community, or how do you see the most successful timing, maybe as far as rolling out a community card?
Well, as you guys might know, gift cards are the #1 requested holiday gift. So that means that your merchants are probably paying more attention to gift card programs at the holidays. So the ideal time to launch, it takes about 4 weeks to launch in general. You can do it faster, but would be probably around September, October, because that's when your merchants are starting to think about gift card programs, and it'll be easier to get their attention. So we do 6 months worth of business in the month of December. So it is by far the high point of the year for the gift card business.
Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit more about the digital gift card aspect of it? So it's a digital gift card in nature. So how does that work? Does it go on their phone? How do they do the transactions? How do they make the purchase? How is that all of that structured?
Right. So this is an all digital program. That's how we can do it without any cost to the chambers or the merchants. So there's no little plastic cards. The way that it works is you'll have a website that we host for you, but it's branded for your community. So you don't even see Yiftee on that website. It's all about your local community. And you put a link on your chamber page, a button that says buy our community gift card. And people go there to buy the gift card. And it's just a really simple process that they go through to buy that card online. They can either send it to whoever they want to send it to through email, or they can print them out. So if they want to put it in somebody's holiday stocking, they just print it out and put it in their holiday stocking. Then the recipient will get that either on a piece of paper or through email, and they take it into the shop. If it's on paper, they can also save it to their phone with a QR code. And they take it into the shop or the restaurant and show their phone to one of your merchants who is participating in the program. They will process that MasterCard. It's a MasterCard, so the merchant's going to process it like a phone order. So they would enter the codes from the MasterCard. MasterCard immediately validates that transaction, and they know they're going to get paid in their normal nightly settlement with all the other credit card transactions from that day. And then the balance on the phone will change. So if you had a $25 card and you bought a cup of coffee, now your phone's going to say you have a gift card for $21. And I could go next door to the next shop and get my nails done or buy something in a boutique. So it's a multi-use card, just like a MasterCard gift card, but it only works at your members' stores.
Yeah. So I see, similarly, I've got kids in high school, and every year the football team does they do a fundraiser where they're selling coupons to local businesses. And this year they went digital with it. So it's on your phone. You got to go show, if you go to the restaurant, it's not nearly as high tech. You're literally showing them the screen, and then they go manually enter it and it's done. But I see this as being, much more valuable in the fact of you have a dollar amount that's fixed with this gift card, with this community gift card. And then you have your list of vendors that you can go spend it on whatever you want with any of these vendors, right? Like you're not limited to redeeming, $5 off after a $25 purchase or anything like that. It's not a coupon. It's an actual cash on a card.
Right.
To be able
it's
to keep
just like any other gift card, but it works at multiple different stores and, until the money runs out on the card.
And then is all the list of vendors, is that just kept up to date on the website, or is that within, how do the users of the gift card keep up to date on who's participating?
Yeah, we maintain that. So if a new merchant joins your chamber and you want to add them to the program, they will automatically show up on the website once they run their activation card. And all the people with cards out there in your community can just click on the card itself, scroll down, and see all the participating merchants. So it's automatically updated.
Okay. So as a chamber rolls out a community card program, who are the typical people who are buying the gift cards and why?
Well, we had some surprises on that.
Really?
So, of course, when you think gift cards, you think consumers. So there's a healthy chunk of consumer business of the people who buy cards. But also where a lot of our business comes from is bulk purchases. So again, if you have chamber checks, you sell a lot at the holidays from local businesses who buy them for their employees so they can keep their money in the community. Well, that has happened in spades with this program. So schools will buy them for all the teachers in the school. Kent State University bought tens of thousands of dollars for their faculty of the Kent, Ohio card. We've had Spartanburg had their local hospital buy cards. Frankfort, Kentucky, and Riverdale Park, Maryland have government programs for low-income families where the government funds cards for these families and all the money stays in the community. Realtors and developers in Mountain View, California give them as welcome gifts to new tenants and home buyers. A nonprofit in Bullock, Arizona buys them for their volunteers. Employers in Detroit and lots of other cities buy them for employee reward programs. And of course, there are huge corporate orders for holiday gifts. So we didn't understand when we started this company, the things you learn. That about a third of the $189 billion US gift card market is corporate purchases.
Yeah.
And before this program, all that money was going to the big box stores and e-commerce like Amazon and Starbucks, right? So now those organizations have a way to keep their dollars in the community. And that has been a great opportunity for us.
That really, turned the light on in my head, going through that explanation, because especially at the holiday time, a lot of these major employers, a lot of them are going to be big supporters of the chamber financially, maybe some of the major investors, but they also have a lot of employees in the community And around the holiday time, it's a normal thing to see whether it's bonuses or some kind of a gift, or maybe they give them, Amazon gift cards or Starbucks gift cards, like you're saying. And if they can make that shift and say, here's a community gift card that you can use at any one of these vendors that's listed in the community. And instead of sending all of this, purchasing power to Amazon, let's keep it in our community and have it keep turning over, time and time again. That's very powerful. So I'm curious, with an individual chamber running their community card program, are they able to keep track, or is there like a running total of how much money they're keeping in their community?
Yeah, there is. So we give them, they can run reports anytime they want. As I mentioned earlier, they have a portal, and you can log into your portal and run a report and see everybody that has purchased cards and how much the dollar value of the card and how much remains on the balance of that card. And they actually have marketing rights to that information. So if you have a chamber newsletter, you could add them to your newsletter or something, contribute to building your community. But my favorite report is the gifts redeemed report, because in that report, you can see every single transaction that was spent at each merchant in the program. So I could see that $4.27 was spent for a cup of coffee at the local coffee shop. I could see that someone went to a boutique and spent, $92. So we don't tell you who had the coffee or went to the boutique. That's a privacy issue. So we don't share that information. But for your members, you have reports of exactly how much business you have walked into the door in their stores. So it's a program. You can really show the value added.
Yeah. And there's no cost or no downfall really for a business to participate. If you're that local coffee shop or retailer, there's no downside to it. It's just gives access to more people coming in, and to be able to get a report from the chamber saying we've sent X number of dollars to your business over the last year, whatever the time frame is. That can be pretty powerful and create that stickiness factor with your members, with your chamber.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, over with the 500 communities that you're working with, and over the years, that there's probably been some pitfalls in rolling out a program. What are some of these things that you see that maybe get overlooked, or maybe assume maybe something's too easy? What are some of these pitfalls to rolling out the community card program?
Yeah, life happens, right? So honestly, the hardest thing about the program where the snags can happen is on the merchant recruiting side. You think it makes so much sense because it's all upside for them. It doesn't cost them anything, and we're going to drive business in the door, but they are busy, and this is something new, and it needs to be explained. So sometimes that takes more time than the chamber anticipated, and it just doesn't happen. Or it doesn't happen as quickly as they wanted. So that's one thing to be prepared for. And we're always upfront about that. The cool thing is and then I guess I would say the other thing is you guys in chambers wear so many different hats, right? So the program will get launched, but then you're off to planning, the Labor Day parade or the Halloween festival or whatever's happening next, because there's never a dull moment in the chamber. So the focus on marketing the program locally in the community wanes, and then the community forgets about it. So what we're doing is, since we've been able to grow, I've started hiring some people on the Yiftee end to help out our chamber partners and help them recruit some of those bulk purchasers, or do some local marketing for them, or even help recruit those merchants. So as we grow, we will continue to be able to put more resources into ongoing sales of the cards and training and recruiting of merchants.
Yeah. So the thought just came to me as say, for example, a chamber says we want to do a community card program. What is the onboarding process like? Do you try to get a certain number of vendors on board with it so there's some value as you start selling the cards, or where's that balance where that trade-off is like, okay, now it's time to turn this on and start selling the cards?
Yeah, it's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it?
Right.
You need merchants, you need card buyers. So we always say for the merchants, the best way to recruit is every community has 2 or 3 trendsetter merchants, the ones who are out there ahead of the pack, and the other merchants really respect them generally. So you start with those guys, and then they can help you recruit the next wave. We like to see around 15 to 20 merchants on the program at launch, and that's plenty. And then it just grows from there. So they can get added in over time as they figure out what's going on and want to jump on board.
Awesome. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And there are those trendsetters and those individuals in the community that have some influence that can bring others along with them. So great strategy. As we start to wrap things up here, I wanted to I'd like asking if there's any tip or action item you might have for chambers who are listening, who want to take their chamber up to the next level. What piece of advice might you have to offer?
Let's see. Well, there's one more aspect to the program that I wanted to make sure and cover, which was also, I mentioned at the beginning that we got here through a lot of luck. This is another part of the luck piece. So since 2021, when the U.S. federal government issued $350 billion to the cities all across the country, 19,000 cities in the American Rescue Plan Act, some of that money is still floating around out there. It doesn't have to be spent until it doesn't have to be allocated until 2024 or spent until 2026. And a lot of those dollars have found their way to this program as a bonus program. So, for instance, buy a $100 card, get a free $50 card. And that is a win all the way around, because to the merchants, they're going to see it's going to triple the grant money, right?
Yeah.
And to the consumer, they're getting free money. And also to the merchants, it's driving foot traffic into their stores, which is what they really need long term, is the community shopping there and developing those new shopping habits. So I just want to throw that out there, because I probably should have mentioned it when you asked about who buys the cards, because that has driven a lot of purchases lately.
Yeah. I'm glad you circled back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. We also have seen some programs sponsored by banks, or realtors will sponsor bonus programs. So while that money is still available, it might be worth speaking with your city Office of Economic Development to see what might still be out there unallocated.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So back to your other question of what to think about now. Well, of course, we'd love to chat with you and see if this kind of a program would be a good fit for your community. So that would be the next step, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and as many of you know, Yiftee is one of the sponsors of Chamber Chat Podcast, and the show's only here because of the sponsors that keep it going. So I'd love for you to reach out and check out Yiftee and see if it's a good fit for your community. But Donna, I like asking everyone I have on the show, as we look to the future of chambers of commerce, how do you see the future of chambers and their purpose going forward?
So, like, as I mentioned, we attend various chamber events like the ACCE and some of the regional ones. And it's clear to us that chambers are really community builders. They bring residents, merchants, employers, and city government together for the betterment of the community from a business point of view. And this program is something that we think that is truly actionable and provides measurable results to the chamber's members, both for the employers who purchase the cards and the merchants who redeem them. So I just see chambers continuing to do what they do, which is, build their communities from a business point of view, and hopefully we can be a tool that helps them do that.
Awesome. So why don't you share with everyone how they can reach out and connect if they have any other questions about how the community card programs work and how to get in contact with your team and and get things started in their community, what would be the good next step, or where would you point them to?
Sure. Yiftee.com, Yiftee.com. And you can sign up there for a demo. We do them 3 days a week. And usually there'll be a couple other chambers or sometimes main streets or downtowns on the demo, which is super fun. It's like a little Zoom party we have. And everyone gets to hear each other's questions. And I love the collaborative nature of this community of chambers. It's such a joy to work with people. And from there, you'll get plugged into me, or probably you'll meet Raquel or Tyson on my team, and they'll be doing a live demo so you can ask all your questions. And we go from there. We're happy also to do webinars or demos for your board of directors or whatever helps you.
Yeah. So another question I thought of, do you ever see a chamber and a downtown association come together in a program like this to really leverage the impact they both have?
Awesome. All the time. All the time. Yeah.
Good deal. Well, I'd encourage everybody to reach out and check out the demos that they offer, the Yiftee offers, and just explore it. See if this is a way that you can help keep local dollars local in your community and make a bigger impact as you and your chamber continue to build your community. But Donna, I appreciate you coming on with us and spending time with us today on Chamber Chat Podcast, and I hope a lot of people take you up on the offer to check out what you guys have to offer in their communities.
Thank you so much, and thanks to all the chamber champions out there for what you do. It's amazing.
If you are a chamber professional, please subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. When you subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast, new episodes will show up in your podcast app each week as they are released. If you're finding value in this podcast, please leave us a rating and a review in iTunes. But most importantly, please share Chamber Chat Podcast with your colleagues that are in the industry. Have you ever thought about creating a podcast for your chamber? We always hear about how chambers need to be storytellers. What better way is there to tell the stories of your members and the work of your chamber than through a podcast? Your audience is waiting to hear from you as a convener of leaders and influencers, champion for business, and catalyst for change within your community. I just launched a chamber podcast course with the goal to get your very own podcast started within 30 days. Visit chamberchatpodcast.com/pivot to learn more and to enroll in the Chamber Podcast course today.